back to the farm, everybody. Welcome back to Forest River, North Dakota. You can see that the grass that we planted for the hayfield is growing in. We actually made the field a little bit bigger and squared it off. We bought a new cultivator. I'll show you that here in a minute. We made the field a little bit wider, got our grass down. We also made a couple other changes. After I finished everything in the last episode and turned it off and went to save the game, I noticed that there were two cattle pasture icons on the map. So that helped me find where the trigger was for the cattle pasture. So we went back into map editor. I'm gonna have to go back and get rid of this tree. Forgot about that. So I went back to map editor and reset the map to put the original cattle pasture back. But in the meantime, I deleted all of the trees over here on this side so that I can make this field bigger and have it go all the way across. So we're back now to the original pasture, and I'm going to hit F1 to turn on my menu. But the animal trigger, I don't know how I missed it, but the animal trigger was right here in front of the gate. So it's right there. This pasture holds 50 heifers, so we will go and buy those probably in the spring after we get our first cutting of hay. So like I said, I got a new cultivator. We got this new International Vibrishank cultivator. I think it's the 14-foot. It's on the back of the Ford now, but I'm going to use my cultivator field creator mod to straighten off the edge of this field and basically take it all the way around over to the Quonset on the other side. But there's a couple of things that we're going to change first. Since we're now using the feed bunk, we're going to go ahead and put up some silos. And I'm debating whether or not I want to put the silos up here or if I want to put them over closer to the cattle pasture. Because I was looking, and I was correct in the last episode. I cannot sell this farmland down here because we still own objects on it. So I got to figure out where I'm going to put the silos down. But since we're going to put silos down, we won't need hay bales right away, so we do not need a loader on the front of the tractor. But in my experimenting yesterday off camera, I actually found a much closer color match there for the loader. So I have that saved in my presets. I'll show you here. No, I didn't want to get into the tractor. I wanted to go into my shop menu here. If I go into my shop menu here, go to my front loader color, I now have it saved in my favorites as Case Power Red, if anybody wants it. So I looked online, and online it said that the RGB was 192, 46, and 0, but that still didn't match what was on this tractor in the game. So 192, 65, and 0 is what I went with, and that's what's on there now. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty darn close. But we don't need the loader on there, so we're going to take the loader off and put some weights on, and now we can also use this tractor for field work if we ever need to. Okay, so now we need to jump into the construction menu and decide. So what I have is I think this is called American Silos Production Pack. So these silos will turn grass. They will turn grass into hay, but they will also turn grass into silage. So I have to decide, do I want to put them over, because I'm going to bring this field all the way out over to here and down, follow this path to right here and straight across. So originally I was going to put the silos there, but if I'm going to make that field bigger, do I want to put the silos down here by the cattle pasture Or do I want to go ahead and put them up here next to our shed, or even here on the other side? Because then if my hay fields are going to be right over here, I can just bring it in here, and then I can put it in a wagon and drive it over here to feed the cows. So I think we're going to put them right here, because there's already this path here that goes around this shed, so it works out. So now I have to decide. I think we're going to use... It doesn't tell me how much they hold. We're going to use the... I think we're going to go with large here. So we'll go with one right here. For the... And we'll make the silver one be the hay. And we'll make the blue one be the silage. But I gotta turn it right here. It's gonna tell me it overlaps, but that's fine. I can... Oh, there. We'll just do that. I was gonna try to put them close enough together that I could put, there's a shed I want to put over the top of them. If I can, I'm gonna see if it's big enough still already, but I don't want their triggers to overlap. They still kind of do, but I think I can figure that out. So we're gonna go into sheds now. We're gonna see if this... I have a drive-through shed here saved somewhere, and we're gonna see if that still fits. Oh yeah, it'll still take both of them. But does that cover my triggers if I do it like that? It does not cover my triggers. The blue auger. This is where you have trial and error. The auger on the silver silo was sticking out a little bit further than... How far over can I go? Right there. Now they look like they're about the same. It also looks like the silver one might be turned a little. So we're going to put this down. Gotta go find it again. And we're going to do a crimson red roof with crimson red trim. Call that good. Now I'm going to have to use that, my free place, to make this work. Do I have the door on the correct side? I guess if I wanted to, I could put the door on that side. Then it looks kind of tacky with the augers that way. I mean, it's going to look tacky anyway, but... I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, we'll just we'll just leave them how they are. All right. There's one other thing that we're going to change. We're going to drive the semi over to the shop, and then I will jump ahead to show you what we're going to do. Alright, we've made it to the dealership, and we are going to do something. So this, we're able to do thanks to BC Bueller releasing a bed pack, and Schultz Modding, who recently released a beta version on an edit of the TranStar. So we're going to actually go in here and sell the TranStar and sell the Load King. And then we're going to go back in here, and I got to go all the way down here and find Transtar 2. And we want day cab. We don't need 800 horsepower, it's fine. Sunshield, yes. Horns, yes. Design color. Oh. We'll do paintable. Okay, attachers. We want, I gotta find it. We want the X2 frame. And we'll put a lift axle on it, and we're gonna make this Case IH red. We're gonna make the frame black. We'll keep silver rims, and we will keep that. And now we are gonna go up here and find bulk truck bed pack, which, like I said, Schultz, or not, BC Bueller has brought this over from FS25. So now should be able to pack this under here. And there we go. We're gonna head back to the farm, and we got a couple other things that we're gonna work on to close out this episode as we work on getting everything set up. Alright, we're back at the farm to continue the setup. We bought a different disc here, a little bit bigger one, to do these dirt paths with. So we're going to do the one here for unloading the silos. Just going to run path through the back right here. And connect it in to this one right here. And put down our grass patch down the middle. Good enough. I feel like that's a little bit thicker than it was before, but that'll work. Alright, that's done. We'll go back around and park this, and then I'm going to show you what I'm using to make these fields. So we're just going to park this here for now. Turn that off. We're going to run over here. I briefly showed you this in the Water Valley map, how I'm using the enhanced vehicle mod as a cheat for GPS to get my fields straight. We'll jump here in the Ford. So if you download and I forget where it's at, I'll go try to find it somewhere and link it if I can. I think it's on GitHub. But you get the enhanced vehicle mod. There you can see at the top the name of the creator. And you can set how many GPS tracks you have. You can set this to turn around automatically when it gets to the headland. And you can just use your cruise control and it'll turn yourself around. How many tracks you want to have, how long it takes before they hide the lines, or you can keep the lines on all together. But your snap angle you can set anywhere from 1 to 90 degrees, so you can set this any way you want. So if you see there at the bottom, I'm basically at 0 degrees right now. So I'm gonna turn this on, and you see I'm right there, kind of on the where the edge of this field comes around, following the driveway. So now I'm gonna make sure I have my field creator on. I'm gonna lower this down. I'm gonna lock in my GPS, and we're gonna go straight. I guess I do have room. I might move the silos over here. I'm gonna have room to put them right there. We might make that change. So I'm gonna get to where I'm about right in here, where I'm kind of following the edge of this other path that I made, right? Now I'm gonna raise up. I'm gonna turn myself here to where I'm kind of pointing and following that same angle that I have over there, which is gonna be 51 degrees. And I'm gonna reset my track. And we're gonna lock it in. And we're gonna drop that down right there. And now we're gonna go all the way up here, kind of following that path that I've already made on the edge of the map. I might be able to go a little bit wider, but we'll leave it as it is. I might have to come back and paint over those bushes, but we'll leave them for now. And now I'm going to do the same thing on this edge. And I'm going to get myself at a 90-degree straight angle right here. Reset my track. Lock it in. Drop it back down. And we're going to go all the way over, probably to about right here. So I'm going to continue making this field. Don't know how much else I really have though for this episode, because this is all I have left until the spring. We'll start buying more of our equipment when we get closer to the spring. We are down to $833,000. We have our cultivator now. Yeah, I can do one more width right here. That'll work fine. Where am I at there? 229. That might actually work. Here for this. Where's the edge of what I just made, though? I need to move that over so it lines up with what I just made. Yeah, that'll work. Down right there. So there we have it. Now we have our field made. We'll leave the bushes there for now. Actually, no, we got to go up here and do this edge of the field now, and then we'll finish making the field. I think this one's a little bit shorter than what I did in the first episode, but hopefully in the next episode we will finally make it into the spring, and then we can actually start farming. Like I said, we'll have to buy the planter, we'll have to put down lime, and a bunch of other stuff, so hopefully in the next episode we can get some of that done. Actually, yeah. You know what? I'll jump ahead. I'll finish making this field and I'll jump ahead. We're going to go ahead and put lime down on the fields that we're going to make for be our corn. So I'll finish making this field and we'll come back and finish off with that. Alright, I think we finally got all of the fields set up and ready to go. So now I need to go and find... I know it's over here in the co-op area somewhere, but we gotta get the lime buy point set here on our target, and I feel like I don't want to cut through the town. I need to go back to the highway to get into the co-op from the other side to get there, but we're gonna go get some lime set up. We made some more big changes, because if anything's constant about me in this game, and that's making changes, so we made some drastic changes to the setup of the fields. So we're gonna have 3 fields. Two of them are pretty close in size, and then the third one's gonna be bigger than the others. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how I get through this town to get to everything, because the co-op is over here on the back side. So it looks like I should be able to cut through town here. Looks like the bar is quite busy. Must be some football games on or something. It is September after all. So I got 2 of them are pretty equal sized, and the third one is a bigger. But that's going to allow us to do 3 different crops, so that we will be able to get straw, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if it's the same thing as FS22 and I'm using the base game setup, I'm going to need straw for my ration. Did I choose the correct side of the train tracks? It looks like I did. Where is our line at? It's back here somewhere. There's our line. Awesome. So I'll show you what I did real quick. Actually, let's do... No, we'll wait till we get over to the farm, because it'll be easier if I go into the construction menu or use flight mode to show you guys as a drone. So, get back out of here with our load of lime. We're going to go ahead and put lime on all 3 fields. One of the fields is probably going to end up being wheat, one will be soybeans, and one will be corn, and then I'll just rotate them each year. I'm not going to go away. I should have weighed empty on the way in, but I forgot how to get in and out of this place. There's our propane and anhydrous. Okay, and then I can come to this intersection, and there's the farm straight ahead of us, so that works out. So we're not that far from the co-op. But yeah, we'll do 3 crops, and then we'll rotate them on the 3 fields, and then the small field that's off to the side is I can't turn. The small field that's off to the side, we're going to turn into a second hay field. So I'll show you what we've done here as soon as I pull into the yard. Still can't drive to save my life. You can kind of see it ahead there. Go ahead and drop that there. So we can get into the tractor and hook that up. But while we're at it, I'm going to show you something else to explain kind of why I'm doing what I did with my roads. So we'll go into the construction menu. First off, you'll see here. So you see how we have ground deformation. In the field, you can see where the tracks actually embed into the ground. But here on this mud texture, it just goes across the top. It doesn't create any ruts on the mud. So what I did is I took out a bunch of trees over here, and I squared off this field, squared off this little patch here, and separated this. So this big field in the back here is going to be our corn, but you'll see how I went in and put a pathway in between all of the fields. So we'll have a big field here, And then you can see these two fields here are smaller, but they're probably equal distant or equal in size. So one of these will start out as soybeans, one of them will start out as wheat this year. This will be corn. And even though this field's bigger, we'll rotate each year. So if this one's wheat this year, it'll be corn next. If this one's beans now, it'll be wheat next. And then this one's corn, beans. I'll figure out a rotation. But basically we're just gonna do them in a loop. And then this small field over here that I just got done cultivating is going to be our other grass field. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and jump out of here, jump into the case. I never turned off my running multiplier. I need to do that. I'm going to go ahead and put down lime on all three fields. I don't see the harm in that. And then in the spring, because on this map, the way it's set up, you can plant wheat in the fall, or you can plant it in the spring. So I could plant it now in September and harvest it in June, or I can plant it in March and then harvest it in August and September. That will allow me to keep my crop rotation. So maybe, let's see. We'll go, if we lime this middle field here, maybe I can make this the wheat field. And I can go ahead and put wheat down. Maybe I can go ahead and put wheat down now. Because it is only 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. we have time. So let's see. Let's get our GPS. I know it's the 1970s and I didn't have GPS, but we're using it anyway. We're gonna get this lime kind of moved over there. That's the only thing though, by doing the paths that way, they're gonna show up as fields. So if I overshoot my lime a little bit, it's gonna, I need to unfold. I didn't know there was unfolding that needed to be done. Okay, there we go. So I may end up with lime over there on my dirt paths, but that's fine. So here we go. Oh, I need to turn that off because I didn't. I need to repurchase. Looks like I need to repurchase because I changed everything. I need to repurchase our precision farming. So what does that one fall under? Does that fall as part of this? Let's see. I don't think I'm going to get soil information on that. I got to figure out what that belongs to. Okay, there we go. We got it. So we got soil information there. So we're good. It was part of that field down there. But it doesn't recalculate. So it still says we only have 7 acres there. And it still says 13, it still says 36 is 15 acres. So it doesn't recalculate the field sizes. I wish there was a mod that did that, recalculated your field size if you did custom fields. That's probably something that needs some kind of crazy script that I don't know how to do. I'm sure there's somebody out there that does know how to do it. So, but that's what we're going to do for now. This is going to be our wheat field, so I think I'm going to try to put some lime down. I'm going to get the lime down on it quick, and then that way I can hire a worker to get out here, and I can hire a worker to come out here with the Ford and cultivate the lime in, and then I can plant over it. See there, I overshot my field a little bit, so I got a little bit of lime on my dirt path. Eventually that'll go away, I think. Oh, that's alright. So we're gonna finish getting the lime, and then maybe get some wheat down on this field here, but that's gonna be it for this episode, and then we will come back. Next episode we will probably be in the spring, unless by chance I'm able to get a cutting of grass off of one of the grass fields in either October or November. If that happens, I'll record it, and we'll go ahead and start in with our cows then. But if not, we'll see you in the spring when it's time to start getting the corn and soybeans in the ground. So, as always, thanks for watching. Hopefully this series is gonna be a successful one. And I plan on making this a long-term type of thing on this series, so we'll see how far we can get, but we're starting off here in the 1970s. We got our field set up. We're going to have our cows soon, and then we can start adding to that bankroll. We do have $850,000 in the bank still, but we're going to have to buy a planter. We're going to have to buy a combine. We're going to have to buy a mower, a rake, a pickup wagon, and then a mixer wagon to feed the cows. So we still got some money to spend, but those will be in future episodes. So like I said, give me a like, give me a subscribe, turn on the notifications if you like my videos. Hopefully I can keep posting more often, and we will see you next time.